Hey there, welcome back. So, have you ever had a headache or a muscle cramp or something that kept you awake at night? Because I did last night. I had an awful headache. I mean, it just hurt everywhere so bad. And it hit right before bed. So, as you know, my first go to is always to think of the natural things I can do first before I hit the medicine cabinet. And so I thought, well, since it was right before bed, I would just have a glass of water and go to sleep because oftentimes headaches are related to either exhaustion or dehydration. So I went ahead, I had my glass of water and went to sleep, but I laid there so long. I just couldn't sleep because it hurt so bad. I tried everything to get us to sleep, and I finally got up and went to my medicine cabinet and got my little bottle of acetaminophen that I keep for emergencies. And I really didn't want to take it because it can be really hard on your system. Not only do medications bring along, toxic chemicals that your body has to deal with, but acetaminophen even has warnings on it that it can be hard on your digestive tract, hard on your stomach. And as someone who has celiac and food sensitivities and just a sensitive system in general, I knew that if I took that, I'd be paying for it for days. But sometimes in these situations, the pain is so bad, you just can't move on unless you do something, right? And so weighing the pros and cons of, do I do this, which might make me kind of sick for a few days, or how long can I suffer with this acute pain? So what I did was I put it on my bedside table. I decided to give myself 20 more minutes to do any natural kind of pain relief I could think of, essential oils, water, tea, things like that. And it finally dawned on me, and I roll my eyes because this is a tool I've had in my back pocket for so long, and I know how effective it really is, yet it seems to be something I forget to do, and it's so silly that I forget. But it's called EFT, or tapping. You may have heard it called tapping. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. So this is a practice that you can use that is not only effective on emotional problems, like the title kind of implies, but it's also great for relieving pain and even for helping you work through chronic illness. So it's good for your mind and your body. And it's based on ancient Chinese principles of acupressure points along the body and talk therapy. So that's the second part of it. So basically, I'll give you the little setup here, and I want you to bookmark this video. So if you ever have a headache or a muscle cramp or some kind of pain keeping you up at night, you can come back to the video, tap along with me because we're going to do a sample session here, and see if it helps you, and then let me know if it helps you because I'd really like to know. It helped me so much. It was like a miracle. I just tapped for a couple minutes and my headache completely went away. I slept so well. I woke up totally refreshed and feeling great today. So I just knew I had to share this with you guys because I want you to feel good too. And this is something that there are no side effects and there's no risk to, because all you're doing is talking to yourself while you're touching your very own body. And the whole point of it is to do something that makes you feel better. So there's really no right or wrong way to do this at all. But there is a system to get you started. There's a structure to it to get you started, but you customize it for yourself, for your own needs and how you need to do it. So I'll give you the rundown here. Let's get started and I'll run you through, and I want to hear from you. All right. So to start with, I'll tell you the points. So the points are the side of your hand, your karate chop kind of side of your hand, the inside of your eyebrow right here, it's on the bony part, on the side of your eye, on the bony part, right under your eye, on the bony part, right under your nose, right under your lip, like where your chin kind of has that little dip as it's turning out, under your collarbone, right kind of here, under your arm, like 3 or 4 inches under your armpit, and on top of your head. Super easy, right? And if you miss a point, it's no big deal. Like I said, you customize this for yourself. So if there's something uncomfortable, you don't have to do it. And there's no way to mess up. Let me just say it that way. There's no way to mess up. Okay, so those are the points. the first thing you want to do is to quantify your pain or discomfort on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being like it's not really bad at all, no big deal, and 10, which is like this is so bad I can't stand it anymore. And write it down, or at least note it in your mind very securely because you need to be able to quantify this so that as you're going, you can tell if you're feeling better or not, and that helps you to decide whether to keep going or whether to stop. Sometimes we kind of forget that something is hurting as bad as it is, and as we go through the tapping and you get relief, you might kind of feel like, oh, it wasn't so bad, and you kind of lose that foundation for actually deciding whether you're getting relief or not and how to move forward. So write that on your scale from 1 to 10 and write it down. And last night with my headache, I was at a 10. I just couldn't stand it anymore. I knew this for sure because I went and got the pills, and I'm really not big into that anymore. So then we do a setup statement while tapping on the side of your hand, and it follows the same kind of format of even though, insert your problem, I have this headache, I completely love and accept myself. So even though, insert your problem, I completely love and accept myself. So when you say this, it might bring up a lot of emotions because it's not something that most people are really used to saying to themselves. And if it makes you uncomfortable or kind of boosts your stress about it or anything, you can change the language. Like I said, there's no real wrong way to do this. So you can change it to just be, I accept myself, I accept the situation, I accept how this is. You can even say something as simple as, and it's okay, and I'm okay, or and I'm going to be okay. The whole point is really just to give yourself the setup statement to say, I have this problem. You're giving a voice to your problem, but I also know that it's not the end of the world. So I'm kind of interpreting it a little bit for you. There's lots of professional EFT practitioners, books, and courses you can take on it if you really want to get into the proper mode of it. But for me and my purposes and how I'm going to teach it to you today is that you want to feel better, right? And if part of this doesn't make you feel good, I want you to throw that out the window and just do the best you can with what you have so that you can feel better. And I think I repeat that way too much, but that is my ultimate philosophy in what I teach, because why would I teach this stuff if it wasn't going to make you feel better? Okay? So here's the system. And I'm going to just tell you kind of what I said to myself last night. I'll keep it short, try to keep this video short. And here we go. Are you ready? From the side of the hand, we're going to tap. Even though I have this awful headache, I completely love and accept myself. Even though I have this awful headache, I completely love and accept myself. Even though I have this awful headache, I completely love and accept myself. This headache on your eyebrow point, this headache is so bad. This headache hurts so bad. I hate this headache. I hate this headache for keeping me up at night. I don't know why the glass of water didn't help. I don't know why going to sleep didn't help. All I know is that this headache is killing me right now, and I can't handle this headache. Okay, so that's the gist of the first part of it. Is you keep going. You can keep saying, describing the headache, because that's part of it. Is you're describing it to get a very clear picture of it. So this headache is like a stabbing pain behind my eyes, and this pain radiates out across my forehead. This pain radiates out down behind my nose, into the back of my neck, so on and so forth. I think you probably get the idea, right? So we're talking through this while we're tapping on all of the points, and you just keep going around and around talking about what is going on. And then after a certain point, you may start to feel some relief, or you just run out of complaining to do. And then we start to turn into more positive statements, or at least more neutral statements. This is kind of a gradual thing, and that's kind of going back to, you want to look at your scale again and say, periodically after a few rounds, you want to rate this and say, Am I still at a 10 or has it gone down? And if it's gone down, where am I? Because this helps you decide whether to keep going or whether you've gotten enough relief to move on, or, even just how to move forward, basically. Because this process with the acupressure points, it relaxes your body and puts it into that mode of healing and relaxation. And also, when you're in that mode, your brain can come up with the creative solutions. So even if the tapping itself isn't bringing you as much relief as you would hope, it's going to open up that creativity in your mind so that you will start to think of the things that will really help you out, okay? So as the rounds go, maybe we're going to switch, and I kind of switched into, okay, this headache is really bad, but I know that tapping helps. I know that doing this is going to help. And I think you probably can't tell through the video, but I'm tapping very gently because when you have a headache, you don't really want to tap very hard. I actually last night was just touching the points, just touching them gently, because the tapping itself was a little too jarring. But if you're talking about something else, like I've got a Charlie horse in my leg, go ahead and tap to a pressure that feels good to you, because part of it is the tapping has a rhythm to it that's very similar to your heartbeat, which also helps with that relaxation and healing process. Okay, so then we're going to kind of move into, but I know that I had my glass of water, and having the water will help. I know that drinking water always helps everything. It gives my body what it needs to help heal and feel better. I'm going to lay down for a little bit longer, and that might help. And I'm doing my tapping, and I know that always helps. And if I don't feel better, I know I have my medicine, and I can always take my medicine and see if that helps. And so on and so forth. So I think you can kind of see, we can move into this, right? I can say, I already feel a little better, which I did, right? Just after 2 rounds, I was going, I already feel a little better. My head already feels a little less stabby or whatever. So there you go. I hope that gets you started, and I want you to keep going. If you're still in pain, keep going, tapping the points and just saying what's going on with you, and use your own words. Use cuss words, use slang, use nonsense, whatever you need to do, because you can also whisper, and you can also just think. If you're not in a place where you want to vocalize this because someone might hear you or you're just uncomfortable, you can just think to yourself these thoughts of, this headache really hurts, without saying it out loud. Like I said, no way to do this wrong, really. So I hope this serves you. I hope that this example wasn't too awkward. It felt a little awkward for me, I'll be honest with you, because I've never done this in front of people before. But I just felt so called to share it with you because, like I said, I was at the end of my rope. It was like, this is unbearable, and I was ready to turn to medicine that I knew was going to cause me other problems the next day. But when I sat down, within 5 minutes, my headache was completely gone. And today I feel much better than I did yesterday, even before the headache. So there you go. I hope this really serves you. If you're not already at my website, please come over to my website, colleen-bean.com, and leave me comments below this video. Let me know if you try tapping and how it works for you. And while you're there, sign up at the top of the page. Just put in your name and email address. You'll get some freebies from me. There's a couple cookbooks and an energy guide, and I'm always giving out different little freebies. So if you sign up there, you'll get on my regular mailing list where like I said, I give out a lot of coaching and advice and free meal plans too. So if you're ever stuck in front of the fridge wondering what to make, you'll have something in your email from me regularly to help inspire you or give you ideas. So again, head over to colleen-bean.com. Let me know if you try this, or just let me know what you think of the video, if it was silly, if you think it's just too weird, or if it really helps you. I'd really like to hear from you. All right, so I'll talk to you again soon then. Bye.